You've got the in-wheel time. I'm sorry, did you say something?
I said there he
happy.
is. Yeah.
That's a great way to start off the show.
He
You know,
is.
we can fix that real quick. You've got the award-winning in-wheel time car talk show just ahead. Summer driving season is beginning, so we check in with Trooper Steve Woodard about what to look for on Texas roads, including new drivers. Hello. Jeff will bring us some car culture, and Mr. Mars reviews the new Ford Mustang. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Seekin. And Chief Engineer David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. Gentlemen, how's everybody?
Good. Mike's all wound
Doing
up this
good.
morning.
Apparently so.
Yeah,
He
he's
just
wound-
kind of, it's one of those guys that class starts, the bell rings, the teacher says, okay, students, let's start. And Mars is over in the corner talking
Well, yeah.
to himself.
Yeah.
Nobody else will listen.
He's just all wound up.
That's why Becky doesn't want to be with you, and she's proud to get rid of you on Saturday mornings,
He
to
had
drive
some,
all the way from Neaterville, Texas, to Houston, Texas.
He had some
and how
Neaterville
many
coffee.
and how many troopers did you run into this morning on the way here?
Between Winnie and the Beltway, there were 3 on the eastbound side.
On the eastbound side. Well, that's good.
And they were busy.
I bet they were. Did they have the lights flashing?
Oh, yeah.
That what
They
my,
was
my
working.
pilot, who's a former sheriff's deputy, calls those wee woo lights. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. Speaking of wee
So
woo,
did you get an escort? this
here he
morning?
is, ladies and gentlemen, live from the. Are you in the confines of your office, Steve Woodard, or are you in your car? Oh, good.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man, he must be in
We
his
lost
car.
him.
Because he was fixing to say something
Yeah.
important. I know he
why
was.
Why does this always happen to us? We know great lead in, and no, it all
There
goes
you
away.
go. We have to do it again.
He's probably under some bridge, running radar while he's talking to us.
Under a bridge?
Under a bridge, yeah.
Oh, overpass.
Overpass,
When I say
bridge,
bridge,
whatever.
I think of like trolls and hermits and things under the bridge.
Well, it could be. But in this case, he stole a uniform, and there's that. So earlier in our tease, we were talking about the Indy 500 practice.
Oh, yeah.
And that's going on, I guess, right now. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about, I was talking about Kyle Larson, who is controversial character over in NASCAR, who switched over to do Indy 500 racing this weekend. And he's wrecked the car.
Yeah. Well, it happens. But, he's got a controversial background because he was let go from the team for racist comments and things years ago. They brought him back, and he's doing quite well. But he's got challenges. They all have challenges. He's one of, I think, 4 drivers.
I have
it was
challenges.
The Bush guy. It was him, Tony Stewart, and I think there was another one that ran the double, the Indy and the.
Let me ask you
race for
something. If you're a race car driver, why would you punish yourself like that?
It's in your blood. It's not punishment. It's not
Oh,
punishment
my
to
God,
them.
no.
For you, yeah.
No, but I mean, even if I were a young man, that'd be punishment.
Well, you got to be in shape and you got to want it.
I guess.
Yeah.
Get up at 3:00 on a Sunday morning to go racing at the Indy 500. Finish that if you don't crash out, and then get on a private jet and then fly to where is it?
The next race.
Well,
that would
is it
I don't know.
Charlotte or something?
It's probably
Some idiotic, 3,000 mile race or something.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm good. One race is enough, and especially when you're talking about 500 miles.
And
Doing 235, 40 miles an hour? Nah, I'm
I'd
good.
prefer watching the Indy race than the NASCAR race because NASCAR's got some stuff going on internally. They're in deep kimchi.
Have you seen the stands?
Oh yeah.
There's
like
nobody there.
the same
Nobody
8
goes.
people. The same 8 people they bust to each track so they can fill the stands.
I don't understand.
There's infighting. There's lawsuits. There's, that's not fair. I need a trophy. Da 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 da. Well, it's all part of the modern racing days, but it's different. It's changed quite a bit.
So you know how when you're on Facebook and you hit something that you're looking at, and then all of a sudden your inbox gets filled
Oh
with
yeah,
all
you
the
get
same
500 of the same things.
So
or whatever.
I'm a big sprint car guy. Wing sprint cars, that's my thing. That's my passion. I like to see them doing, 1,000,000 miles an hour sideways around
in the dirt.
in the dirt. And man, when those things flip,
tumble.
Hang on. Yeah. And I've been watching a bunch of those this week. I was hoping that we could get Rodney Rodriguez, who does all that stuff, play-by-play. What?
He'll be here next week. We had to move him to next week.
Why?
He had a conflict, so he'll be here with us next week.
Okay. All right. But at any rate, so you get all of these, and I've been getting a lot of them. You know, winged or non-winged, sprint cars they're going to flip. Short wheelbase, high horsepower. It's nothing but a motor is what it is. And you got the things spinning around in there going really fast. And, boy, one little false move, and there you go, over the fence.
Speaking of Rodney Rodriguez, he's commentates. He's the announcer and things, which does a great job because we've been there with him. But nowadays, like on the NASCAR, they talk to their audience like they're 9 years old. Well, this is a tire, and the tire goes round, and then at the last line, you got 2 to go, 4 to go, and all this other stuff.
Maybe they're running for president?
I don't know. But and then Indy, why do they have all these you got American drivers, you got American teams, it's the Indianapolis
You got
500.
Danica Patrick.
Danica Patrick. She's not gosh, if she's on, I'm not watching.
She's on.
Well, I haven't seen it, and don't ruin it for me. But you've got a lot of these guys that are from,
Catch the radio broadcast.
Australia, and they know how to drive in the outback, and they're commentating on Indy. No. Stay in your own lane. This is an American event, in my opinion. I'll announce it if I have to.
You'd be good at it.
Well, particularly if you've got a couple of guys backing you up, handing you pieces of papers
Oh,
with
yeah, the
notes
stats.
on it.
Like you do with me on this show?
Kind of like that.
Here's our foul language. Hey, look, you blankety blank, and he hands it to him.
Either that or one of these where I just kind of showing
We
the
used to
sign.
do that.
Yeah. Beat on the drum or the trash
Or
can.
hand gestures.
Speaking of signs,
Speaking of
Oh
signs.
my God! Let's try again, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Woodard, can you speak? And are you unmuted? And it's kind of like going. Look at him with the thumbs up. It's kind of like going to
It's his
third
trigger
grade.
finger.
Third grade. Do we have all the little pieces in order so we can talk to Steve this morning?
I know he got his hair cut for this.
Yeah, he did. Steve.
there he is. Right there.
What's up, fellas?
Don't
What's
move.
going? Now I hear that. Man, I tell you what, Don, you have a voice
Oh, God.
that can do 3 things.
He can haunt the dead.
It can either put a man to sleep.
Yes.
I won't continue.
Permanently.
How you fellas doing?
Well, good. Well, how are you?
So far, so good. I am on the ferry, heading on over to Bolivar.
Oh God!
I'll meet you down
Why are
there.
you calling the Lord's name?
Mars. Mars has a beach house down there. Did you know that?
Okay.
Yeah. So he's going to go there right after the show today. He's going to give you the address off the air. You're more than welcome to stay down there. When
Got
you
an extra bedroom.
Yeah, and it's all yours.
All right. I tell you what, just a quick report, and let me pull the stats. Do you guys mind if I go over some stats?
Now we love stats.
And I did not plan on going over this, but so last night, this is just last night, 87 arrests, 91 misdemeanor citations. We had out of those arrests about 15 felonies, a lot of drugs seized, some guns, and that was an accumulative of the Galveston County Sheriff's Office, DPS, and Texas City got in on 2. So we're just trying to ensure that if people come down, that they have a good time, and that they don't tear other people's property up. Just come, have a good time, and go back to the house.
Well, if Texas City only had 2, they need to try harder.
Yeah.
Well, they only sent down one officer. I think Lake City sent one down, one from Pearland. It's people from all over that came down to help with this event, because I'll tell you something, Mars, this is a very, very violent and unfortunate event, but basically what it's turned to.
Right.
But last night was a ghost town, so I guess whatever we're doing, it's working.
Well, I have
Well,
to tell you
hopefully.
that when they first started the event, of course, we were sponsored
sir.
by Jeep at the time. We went down there for the very first one. It was great. We had a great time. It's a little chaotic because it wasn't as organized as a big event like that
Well,
would
because
be.
it's not
But
an
it wasn't
official
that
event.
it wasn't that big of a deal. And I think we broadcast from a bar down there, if I'm not
Tiki
mistaken.
bar.
The Tiki Bar, and it was great. We had a good time and did our thing. Then we got invited back the second year, and it kind of went south for us. They put us on some stage in the middle of some parking lot, and there was supposed to be crowds of people, and no, they were interested in parking. They weren't interested in anything that we had to say. And it kind of started going downhill. I told Mars, I said, I'm getting some really bad vibes about this. Let's not do this next year. And we did not. And it was the next year
It blew up.
that there was gunfire and everything else. Thank God we didn't go.
They were sacrificing
Yeah.
radio hosts. and-
Dude, it's just not. And I will tell you, it gives Jeep a bad name.
It does.
Because
Yes.
we know Jeep people, they are not like that.
100% agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, not only
Hey,
that,
I will say this, Don. The majority of the people that we dealt with yesterday were not in Jeeps.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do.
the instigators.
So,
Yeah, the big jacked up trucks with the wheels outside the fenders, and I know exactly what you're talking
were you
about.
there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
we've
know,
been there, done that.
I know
Yeah.
exactly the crowd that you're talking about. It's some of the same people that go to an event that we used to be involved in, and we're no longer involved in it because of the mayhem. And it seems like every time we just kind of get the vibe, then the following year it goes south. And the police get involved. It's a big, ugly mess. We don't want to have anything to do with that. We're car guys. We follow the law for the most part. And
Kinda, sorta.
every once
Kind
in
of
a
a
while,
guideline.
if there's a wide open highway with no intersecting anything, yeah, I'll go over the speed limit. I'll admit that. So, but I think that most of us do. But we do it in a safe way. We're not drunk. We're not doing drugs. We're not doing any of that sort of stuff. We're enjoying our cars. And it's a real shame that there's a few that go in and try to. I don't think that they go there to ruin it. They bring their level of entertainment to an event and
Exactly
ruin
it.
it for everybody.
Yep. Theirs is different than the rest.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, summertime's coming up. This is a period here in a few weeks where our driver's license offices, they start getting booked up because kiddos are starting to get into the realm of becoming new drivers.
Yeah.
So I just want folks to be mindful of this. Typically, a lot of folks are turned around because they don't have the proper information, meaning a secondary identification, the proof of residency, an address, or a bill. Just make sure you have all of those items, all of that's listed on the website. And if you find yourself in a situation to where your kiddo or you find yourself in a situation to where it's kind of difficult to get a driver's license transaction, I'm a not only a friend of the show, but I consider myself family. Give me a call, 832-266-8239, 832-266-8239, and I'll make sure your driver's license transaction goes smoothly. Fellas, what do you think about the new license plate that's getting ready to come out in July?
You talking about the paper plate?
Or the temp
Yes, sir.
tag, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen anything. Does it look different than a regular plate?
Yes, it actually, I will have a sample for you next time I come on.
Okay.
Actually, I have two plates for you. I'll have a sample of that, and I want to give you guys, I have a custom plate being made for you guys to put on the wall, but it'll be a DPS plate, and it'll say in wheel time. So next time you guys have me on, that's got to be an in-studio deal.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We,
Yeah,
we-
yeah.
we can't, we
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
wait for all that. Let me ask you something. When did you get your driver's license? With one of those restricted ones where you got to have a parent in the front seat with you. How old were you when you got that?
I'll be honest with you, Mr. Don. When I turned of age, before I went off to the military, I never went to a driving school. I always drove. I'm gonna be honest with you. My grandmother, when Dad would drop us off to visit Grandma and Grandpa in Texas City,
They'd let you drive.
Yes, I was 14.
Yeah.
And she would tell me to go buy her cigarettes, and the guy would sell them to me.
Yeah. And the Galaxy,
Different
was
time,
it the
but me,
Galaxy?
I didn't go through a driving school. Daddy took me up there, and I passed the driver's test as soon as I turned 18.
Did Grandma's car, was it a Galaxy 500 or something?
No, it was some old Regal, some Regal.
Hey! Don't be dissing Regals.
And it was a top notch.
See, there you go.
I remember it was an old Regal. But at any rate, she wanted her smokes, and guess what?
You got them.
Stevie
25
told me
cents
I
a
went-
pack. Here you go, honey. Go up there and give me a pack of Terrytons.
So I've got
Newports. Cools.
I got a request. When you come in, I need my own official DPS ticket book. I want to start issuing.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I could make you a lot of money. I see stuff all the
I
time.
don't know if we need to give you a ticket book. 'cause
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's
you'll
because
still take it
okay.
down,
So
right?
here's the story. I was 15 and I had my restricted. Okay, and so I had my restricted license, and I was just about to turn 16. Right, and it's time for me to go get my driver's license. And there used to be a driver's license office. This is way back before you were even born, in Bel Air. I went over there as I was all nerved up, went in there and took the test, passed it with flying colors. I got my driver's license. And I think somewhere in all the junk that I've saved from my childhood, I have that driver's license
Sure he
somewhere.
does.
Yeah.
Probably
But
so,
yeah. But, I took driver's ed in junior high school. Albert Sidney Johnston Junior High School, I took driver's ed. Yeah, thank you very much.
Wow.
Yeah. So as
you
long
find that driver's license so we can see that antique artifact.
Well, no, it's actually in it's in a chariot.
a chariot.
You know what, man? How do you deal with those guys?
I love these guys. We have a good time.
We used to call him Spartacus.
Spartacus. So So I wanted to. I
I really
all.
want to touch on.
Oh, I wanted to
something, if
say
you don't
this
mind.
about just add on to the thing with the kids. I've already seen them. They're out there. Give them lots of room. Be patient. No horn honking or shooting the finger or none of that stuff. You were there once. Just remember that.
Yeah, you better believe it. And and again, I got to touch on this. At the end of the day, we got to set these kids up. So what we're starting to do, DPS, we're going out to schools and we're showing these kiddos. I know this is gonna be crazy, and you guys are gonna say, really? But we're actually showing them how to change a tire.
Oh,
We're going
God.
out and we have a program that we've put together called Vehicle Safety, and we talk about how you should inspect your vehicle every so often, make sure the turn signals are working, etc. But we also go into how to change a tire. You would not believe how many people that actually come to our academy, the DPS Academy, don't know how to change a tire. That's part of the curriculum as a trooper. You got to know how to change a tire. Because when you turn that driver's license on the back and dial 1-800-525-5555, guess what? It goes to DPS. And if we come out there and you need a tire change, we'll help you do it.
Yeah.
So, it's just a broader spectrum than just driving. Just simple stuff of changing a tire, checking your oil, etc. That stuff's important.
Well, as a dad, I have two girls, and I will tell you that as soon as they reached age enough where they could understand things like that, I taught them how to do it and made them do it in front of me so I could kind of guide them. So when they got their driver's license, they were set to go. Did they ever change a tire? No. Who did they call? Dad.
Yeah.
Daddy.
Yeah,
Daddy. That's right.
absolutely. And, it's always, and I remember it all very well.
But you taught them well.
I'm sorry, wait a minute.
But you taught them how to do it well enough that they knew not to do it. They called Dad.
That's
I mean,
right.
that was-
That's exactly right.
AAA.
Steve, it's always great to talk to you. Any closing words?
I will tell you, if folks don't mind, please make sure you lock your vehicles up. Unfortunately, within our region, and I'll say Houston and abroad, vehicle theft is going up. So if you have to put an extra system on my son just got that Dodge XRT or whatever, and we put a kill switch on it. I mean, whatever you need to do to protect your valuable asset, please do it. Also, let's not forget that this month is Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. San Antonio, Dallas, and Houston always lead the state of Texas in motorcycle fatalities, with Houston being number one. So please share the road. Watch out for those guys and gals. And again, if we do that, we'll make a safer Texas.
We love you,
Perfect.
Steve.
Take
We
care.
love you too. Thank you so much.
Be safe down there, and if you run
Yeah,
into Mike,
if you see me, wave.
I will. I will.
And with
Let's
the
see. which color light do you want? The blue? Red? What do you want?
Well, the blue one works well up against the white truck.
well, we just call them the wee woo lights and just put them all on because he can't see that good anymore anyway. God bless, Steve. Take care, brother.
be safe.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank
y'all.
you. Just ahead, Jeff's Car Culture and a review of the 2024 Ford Mustang GT in Will Time Car Talk Show continues after this.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. The Enwell Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
Hey, I want to remind you the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show hits the road again. Our next stop is in Granbury, Texas for the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run. Join our live broadcast on June 14th from 9 to noon. Thanks for being with us today. We appreciate you, and time now for Jeff's Car Culture.
Here we
Classic cars that didn't live up to expectations.
betcha.
Boy, there's a ton of those.
Yeah, well, what doesn't and doesn't qualify as a failed ugly muscle car should be pretty straightforward. Do they lack engine power, or they look like they've just been replaced? It's enough to sway opinions negatively on its own. Do they shove gas sipper engines into what should be a sports car? More to the point, does it take a classic muscle car nameplate and turn it into something as a bad economy car? Well, we're about to find out. So here's one. 5th generation Dodge Charger with only 84 horsepower. What? Yeah, that's why I paused. Offered
God.
by the time of the early 80s, Dodge at least attempted to lend some sporting credentials to this generation Charger, with an optional turbocharger for its engine. Shelby even put a unique performance touch on a handful during his brief exodus from Ford. Still, this was nothing more like the Chargers that we know and love, and its reputation just went downhill. Next one we have is a Ford Mustang II King Cobra. In fairness, people really do like the look of this, and they're fond of it for this generation of Mustang. Never mind the newly minted emissions restrictions that laid waste to the engine power. The Mustang II King Cobra did at least look the part. Still, 139 horsepower from a 302 cubic inch V8 was underwhelming in the mid to late 70s. Add the blob-like styling, and the Mustang II King Cobra cemented its status as a pariah. One that'll never be held in the same regard as
Let me ask you,
before.
is that a bird on the hood?
That is a bird. What do they call it? A screaming chicken from
No,
Pontiac.
but they stole it from Pontiac.
I don't
No,
know.
that looks more. That looks really more like the Screaming Chicken, not a.
Whatever.
Maybe it's
Thunderbird.
a dragonfly or
a
something.
No, I
dragonfly.
think that's
that-
a snake right there at the
Oh,
front.
it's
at the
King
end.
Cobra. There you go.
Yeah, there's a
There you-
snake
Mike got it.
right
Ding,
there.
ding, ding.
Oh, God.
Well, the next one we got
Snake
is
with wings.
6th generation Olds 442. Many of the much beloved 2nd generation Olds 442s left the factory with a mighty 455. I had a 455 in my 71.
What's that one got? 4.5?
No, it was a 455. By the time the 6th generation hit the scene, there was little left for the original flair. It was kind of laughable. There's no DNA shared with the older cars in this visual department whatsoever. It's just a mid-'80s Cutlass Calais with a 2.3-liter quad 4 output of 180 horsepower. But that depends on whether you have the W40 or the W41 designation. At least that's the number GM claimed back in the day. The next one, Don will love this one, is a C3 Corvette after 1973. That's important to know.
I had one.
Take this with a grain of salt, Don, because vets from the C3 era are starkly divided between pre-73 gas crisis models and the ones built afterwards.
I had the one afterwards.
After the oil crisis, the Corvette platform continuously neutered year by year the staggering degree.
Goes along with my personality, doesn't it?
Big V8s that once cranked 350 horses or more suddenly found themselves making a fraction of that. The most, I should say the worst of the worst, was the 1980 California Spec Corvette with a 305 V8, 180 horses.
That's what mine had.
Yep. That's all you got from that motor. Yeah, it was a disgrace. So, too, were the looks altered by years and years of design. Body lines became softer, curb weights rose, and the C3 Corvette became a large, less aggressive-looking vehicle. And the last one I have on my list is a 9th generation Chevrolet Impala SS. Credit to it, the 9th generation Impala SS sported a 5.3-liter LS V8.
Shut
No pipsqueak of an engine. On that alone, any coupe or sedan could have the foundations of a great muscle car. But the Impala SS simply fell flat in that regard. Trim-specific alloy wheels and a small spoiler that you could just easily find on a Honda, and some SS badging, well, which wasn't that great. But there's a difference in the Impala SS from one of its lower, less powerful trims. It's just a normal-looking mid-size-ish sedan by most expectations. Did we mention that it's front-wheel drive? No, I don't think we did, but that's part of it as well. As an affront to historic nameplate, the people know and love, the Impala is by far the worst offender of the disrespecting of its ancestors.
Two thoughts here. Did you see Cletus McFarland's post this week?
No, I did not. I don't follow him.
Where he had an Altima race. There must have been 75 Altimas at his racetrack down in Florida, all racing at the same time on the same track. It was absolutely hysterical. All front-wheel drive cars. They were doing donuts with front-wheel drive cars out there in the middle of the field. It was absolutely hysterical. And the other thought, that going back to this whole stuff with the SS badging, it's kind of like having a Cadillac and putting the V emblem that you bought from the Cadillac store into a regular Cadillac.
Yeah, or an SRX. That'd be great.
Or get one that's like 3 sizes too big to make sure it really stands
out. Yeah.
No, you have to be proportionate if you're going to do it. If you're going to try to fool people and be a clone, be proportionate.
Well,
mine was an actual honest dealing, even though it wasn't. It was. That's all I'm gonna say.
So why don't you tell that story?
When I was on the road for American Tire, I'd drive to San Antonio, I'd drive to Dallas and the local Corpus Christi's and stuff. Anything beyond that, I would fly. So I'm a Cadillac guy. I had a lot of Cadillac friends and dealerships and things, and I used to get my car washed quite often, sometimes twice a day. Hey, what do you charge for a car wash? Well, let me your keys. We'll have it done by the time our meeting's done. So you have an hour and a half meeting. Your car's all spick and span.
It didn't cost you nothing.
Didn't cost me nothing. So there's one time I took it in, and they said, we got a little issue. The 3.6 emblem, the 3 cracked off because it was a brush machine that they were washing them. Okay, just put a new one on. We don't have one. It's going to be several weeks. We got to get it from Detroit. They got a guy with a smelting factory in Europe or whatever. He's got to make one. So I said, all right, what do you got? Well, we got a V. Put it on. So they did.
There's the story of the
V6.
Yeah, there you go, V6. Thank you, Michael. He just verified my whole conversation there. Yeah, and it stayed on there till the day I traded it in. In fact, I think I got more money because they thought it was a V.
And Time Car Talk Show continues after this quick break.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey Radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us.
From the Sugar Shack Studios in Texas, USA, it's the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, with car sales hot, we check in with Carfax's Patrick Olson on what to look for when buying a car, new or used. Jeff has the Cruise In and events calendars. I'll bring you stories making automotive news headlines this week. That and more coming up in this half hour. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. Chief Engineer David Ainsley is up. We don't know what he's doing in the backyard. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Thanks so much for being here with us. And also, we'd like to thank Patrick Olson with Carfax joining us this morning. Patrick, it's always good to see you, my friend. How you been?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you. I'm sorry to have put you through all of that because I know that he's been on hold there for about 10 minutes, and he was subjected to all of the shenanigans that we've got going on this morning.
But it was a good story.
Yeah, it was. It was a good story.
It was a very good story,
yeah,
yes.
As a matter of fact, I think that there was a Carfax involved in Jeff's trade-in where he took the 3.3 and changed it out with a V. Don't you think? I'm sure you could get by with that, don't you?
It was tubbed out. It had a blower on it.
It sounds a little sketchy, to be honest.
There's no doubt about it. So I don't know whether you want to start with new or used cars. I know that your thing is used cars, but I know that you're really focused in on new car sales because new car sales has a direct impact on used car sales. Give us your take on that.
So I would say, in terms of buying new, like right now is probably a great time as the questions about tariffs are kicking around. There's still a decent amount of inventory on dealers' lots right now that was there before the tariffs. And so dealers are eager to, sell those. And we definitely saw a surge in sales in March and the first half of April as kind of double what we saw a year before. So there's definitely a lot of consumers who are trying to beat whatever price hikes are coming with tariffs. So if you want to buy new, I think now is a good time to go out and see what's around before the pickings get slim.
Well, yeah.
But of course, for me, I'm always thinking about used cars. And, as we get to graduation or summer jobs or teenagers and things like that, I think parents have to consider a lot of things when they're figuring out what car to get their teen or their grad.
Well, and, I will tell you that there was a time, not that long, well, it was a long time ago, but it wasn't a long time ago for us older friends. And I will say that I had a chance to, give my daughter a 16th birthday gift for a car. And I went out and found a slightly used car that had been repossessed somewhere in the Carolinas. And it was a stripped down model of a Ford Focus. It was less than a year old. It had 1,200 miles on it, burn holes in the back seat from cigarettes or other things. And it had a 5-speed manual transmission and crank windows and a 2-door, black with a beige interior. She still has the car, will not get rid of it. Of course, it's not worth any money, but it's sentimental value. But there are those kinds of cars out there in the used car market that I think are real bargains not to be overlooked, especially if you're trying to save a few bucks.
Absolutely. For example, my daughter went out recently and bought a 3-year-old used Hyundai Kona that only had 12,000 miles on it coming off of a 3-year lease. So she found, quite a great specimen for her. I think the crucial thing is make sure you know what the car's history is. Like for a car with 1,200 miles, that's a great find, but I would be worried about why is it for sale after only 1,200 miles. Was it a lemon? Had it been in a flood, something like that? And that's where the vehicle history report from Carfax can really save your hide.
Right. And this particular car that I bought her, it seemed to be, I mean, there was nothing wrong with it. It hadn't been wrecked, none of that stuff. But about 3,000 miles into it, after we took ownership of it, the clutch went out. And it turned out that, and it had one of those slave cylinders inside the bell housing and all that sort of stuff. And it would have been fairly expensive to fix had I not bought it through the dealership, because it came with a limited warranty that it covered that. Yeah. So that's something else to keep in mind.
I absolutely agree. So a lot of people think that all extended warranties, which isn't your situation, but for a lot of folks, the extended warranty is an option. To me, as long as you can negotiate the price to a reasonable amount, they'll very often start at $3,000 or so to get one. I have negotiated several times for used cars. The last one was several years ago, but like $1,600. And for me, every time it's paid off. My son had a Ford Escape, and he left all the windows open in a thunderstorm in Illinois, and it poured water right into the transmission, right through the gear selector. And it was a $3,000 fix that was covered by that extended warranty. So, there's some peace of mind there. Yes, there's an expense, and yes, you might not ever use it. But to me, that really paid off.
Well, we see so many warranties now after the warranty is over with your regular car, whether it be extended. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And I had to deal with one just a few years ago, a friend of mine's car, and it was an absolute nightmare dealing with this car. Well, we'll cover that, but we won't cover this, that kind of thing. My take is on it, if you've got a car that you've done all the homework on it, you've got your Carfax, you've done everything right. Yep. If you want to have an extended warranty, my suggestion is, of course, if it's not too much, set aside $50 a month, put it in a special account, and that is your rainy day Carfix account, because that's what you're going to do if you have an extended warranty.
Yeah, for sure. And then you still have the money if you never need it, which is the real benefit of that. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
No, absolutely.
What's a good bargain in the used car market right now?
So used sedans are a great bargain right now. Americans love pickup trucks. They love SUVs. And so there are a lot of used just cars out there that can be had for not a ton of money and with not a ton of mileage on them either. Now, I will say that back in 2021 into 2022, leasing this country took a huge dip. It was tough to get credit. And so there's many fewer lease cars coming off of leases than there were, say, in 2023, 2024. So that makes it a little harder to find those deals. But, there are a lot of good, solid, Honda Civic, Honda Accord, late model Chevy Malibus, the Toyota Camry. There's a bunch of cars out there that can be had for not that much money that get really good gas mileage these days, have decent power, and are going to be solid, reliable, transportation for you. I don't know about 75 Altima, but these other cars would probably do all right.
The one that was in the race down at Cleus McFarland's place.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely hysterical. All right, so let's take that one step further. Had somebody ask me not too long ago, well, I found a car that I'm really interested in, and it's at a Hertz or National Car Sale place. I'm going, I don't know as if I would go that route, because it may have a Carfax, it may not have been wrecked. But, dude, when is the last time you had a rent car that you didn't really rev it up, trash it out, hit the emergency brake, do ugly things to it because it's not yours?
I've never done that.
You liar.
No, I haven't.
Well, they're definitely, there are definitely two schools of thought there. Some people think like you do, and frankly, like I do. I've seen what, I rent a lot of cars for business, for travel, and I've seen what other drivers can do. Now, that being said, though, the rental car companies have to really work those cars over, and they maintain them, and they keep them going, and they make sure that they're getting all the regular maintenance. So I fall into your camp, but I know there are other people out there who swear by them as a great value just because of that aroma of rental that's on them.
Now I'm going to use that line
The technical
somewhere.
aroma
the
of
rental aroma.
aroma.
That's perfect.
There you go, you
Yeah,
just tagged it.
we're using that line.
I had a rental car. It was an Altima, black Altima, beige seats, nothing special, little 4-cylinder in New Orleans, and
a rent car.
a rent car. Get it at the airport, whatever. Hertz. It was Hertz. And then a few weeks later, I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I swear to God, I had the same car. I mean, it had the same dirt on it, the same interior.
It may have been.
The footprints on the ceiling,
Yeah.
the whole thing was all the same. So I think the car was following me. Just
Well, I listen. I know a lady that out there at the airport that works for a rental car firm, and she tells me that there are times, especially in weird weather, big holiday events, well, they'll get a one-way rental to come into Houston,
yes.
and it seems to go in times of year and that sort of thing, and so they wind up with too many cars here in Houston, and they've got to get them back to where they were, so they rent these great big haulers. And it's very possible that you could have had
Yeah.
the same car.
Yeah.
And it's two places. Yeah, it's bizarre. You really don't have a real good idea about rentals. Now, let me ask you this. How is the EV used car market? Because people are going, I think I'm going to go EV. Okay.
who don't you know?
Well, so I think EVs are actually quite a deal still, although they're getting to be less of a deal. Like every other segment, their prices are going up too. But I think a lot of consumers are treating EVs like they treat their iPhone or their Pixel phone, which is they want the newest with the newest technology and the newest features, and frankly, the longest range. So if you can live in a place where you can charge at home, and I think that's crucial if you have an EV, you got to be able to charge at home. But if you can do that, and you run errands or you go to work in a normal week, a car with 150 to 200 miles of range is going to cost you about $8 a week for all of your transportation compared to what you would pay in gas. So I'm a fan of EVs. They're not for everybody. If you live in a city, if you live in a place where you can't charge it, the national infrastructure for charging is not great. But their prices right now, the used prices, are really pretty good. So as long as it's, to me, not your primary car, the one that, one weekend you got to go to grandma's 5 hours away. But for, day-to-day use, I think they're kind of a steal.
So does it make a difference what kind? I mean, does Tesla get more money than, say, for instance, a Hyundai EV?
It's really shifting. So Tesla did for the longest time because they were the majority of the market. But Hyundai and Kia have put out a lot of EVs and are selling a lot of EVs right now. Mercedes and Audis have some, but those tend to be very expensive, and on resale they're not so cheap. Like a used Hyundai Kona EV is really kind of a good bargain these days. Ford's got a fair amount of Mach-E's that are out there. I love driving the Mach-E. I think it's a good-looking car. It's very spacious. So there are some choices out there that used to be only Tesla, but there's a lot of other players that have a lot of other cars in the market now.
So if I'm in the used car market, whether it be for my 16-year-old or 18-year-old that's going off to college, or say, for instance, the wife needs a new car, she travels, 20 miles one way to work and back for the most part, what would you say would be a good idea as to what parameters to put in place for yourself? Mileage? Range, price, all of those things? Tell us.
Well, definitely range. And the beauty of most EVs is they tend to have, if they built in the last 5 years, they tend to have all of the most updated driver assist systems, right? Like blind spot warning, rear cross traffic alert, automatic braking. So, and for me, for young drivers, I'm not necessarily sure I would get them an EV unless they were really well trained in how to charge it and knew where to get more charging. But that blind spot warning has been shown in studies to be the most helpful tool to drivers. And for new drivers, that rear cross traffic alert that stops them from running into a post or running into a car in the parking lot at the grocery store, hugely helpful. So those are the things I would look for.
Patrick, what kind of resources do you have at Carfax.com?
So if you go to Carfax.com, we can tell you the best SUV, the best sedan. We can tell you the best EV. We can tell you the cheapest cars are out there. We even have articles and rankings on best cars for tall drivers, best cars for short drivers. So there's a lot of stuff. If you go to Carfax.com/research, on that page, it'll show you every ranking we have, and you can figure out what's going to be the right car for you. And then, of course, when you go to our listings, you get a free Carfax report with every used car listing. So you don't have to worry if the dealer's going to give it to you or not. It's right there free on the site.
Patrick, it's always great to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us today. Have a great summer. Let's catch up again this fall.
All right, sounds good, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Patrick.
Coming up, Jeff has the cruise in and events calendars, and we're going to get to Mr. Mars' car review, the Ford GT Mustang.
Oh.
I'll have the stories making automotive news headlines. Stay with us. The award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues after this quick break.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flameado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run, our next remote broadcast gathering, so be sure and join us from Granbury, Texas, 9 to noon on Saturday. Mr. Mars wanted to push it to 10 to 1, and I'm going, we've been promoting 9 to noon. I think we need to stick with that because next month at this time, dude, it gets hot up there.
It gets hot at 7 o'clock in the morning.
And you know what? If we do our homework, we'll have some guests already in place, ready to go at 9 o'clock. I think we're going to be good.
We'll be fine.
Is that okay?
Yeah, no, I to me it makes sense in so many ways. It just
Guests. He's worried about the guests. And you know what? We've got enough BS between the three of us that if we don't have a guest right there,
Don't
right
forget
then.
David. David's full of BS.
Well, there's 4 of us.
Hot air then,
You're
yeah.
exactly right. So that's going to be Saturday, June 14th, 9 to noon, right here on your favorite streaming and podcast source, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Thanks for joining us this morning. Let's get to this hour's car review. We're a little bit late doing that. Mr. Mars has the GT Ford Mustang that he wants to talk to us about.
And I really do. Now, this is the 7th generation of the Ford Mustang, so it's been around a while. It's got some new sheet metal lines on it, but this is the Mustang GT Premium.
That's good looking, brother.
Yeah, it is.
Now, this car comes in 4 trim levels. 5. I can't count. 5 trim levels, with the GT Premium being the top of the line just short of the new this year Dark Horse. That's really kind of more of a track car. Now, this car is assembled in Flat Rock, Michigan.
All right.
It is the 2024 GT Coupe Premium is the trim level that we're working with. And for some reason, your government calls it a subcompact car, which okay. It does say it will seat 4. I want to point out
It's a 4-seat sports car. Let's just leave it at that.
Sports car that only weighs 3,800 pounds, so it's nice and light. Front seat, I want to point out, legroom 44.5 inches. Rear seat legroom 29.0 inches. Legroom, rear seat. Put the little ones back there. Up front, you're going to find that you've got the Mustang lighting approach lamp, so you got the little Mustang emblem that's really cool looking on the ground. Auto LED headlamps, LED lights. We got the sequential taillights. That's something that I've always loved about the Mustang. Is
Mine's
the
got that.
sequential. I really like that. Looks really cool. Rain sensing wipers. Got the Brembo braking on it. Black calipers with white lettering. It's kind of different for the GT package. It's got a rear wing on it. It's called the performance wing because it's not just a little spoiler sticking up there. It's got some angles and some things to it that's supposed to help it whenever you get up over speeds you're not supposed to be doing on the street. It's got the active valve exhaust system. Now, I love this. Got different settings you can put on it. You're on the track, got a track mode. You can put the exhaust on it, drowned out all the road noise. Really cool going down the road. But it's also what I got what I call the 2 a.m. setting. You want to come home at 2 a.m. kind of quiet. You can put it down and it muffles it
What
down.
do you know about that?
I'm just saying I've heard stories about people that need to
You're
kind of
such a
sneak
liar.
home at
No, he's
2
just always
a.m.
coming in at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's what it is.
Exactly. Well, he's meeting his granddaughter that's just coming in the front door
Yeah,
from work
you
in
know,
half the night.
Yeah, yeah. And we were rolling on some optional 19-inch wheels. Has some 355 gears in the back of this thing. So it's got a little juice on it. So it's got, what I really liked, it's got some of the newer age styling on it, but it's got a lot of the classic Mustang touches, you know, like the taillights and the hood scoop, things like that. Now you get to the interior, and this is where it's been some updates done. Got a black leather onyx leather trim across the interior, front bucket seats. The rear seat is a split folding. It's got ambient lighting on the inside of it that you can adjust. Now what's new is it's got a 12.4-inch LCD digital instrument cluster that you can adjust and kind of range the way you want it. 13.2-inch LCD center stack screen. This is where you're going to find your convenience controls, your navigation, your audio, the whole infotainment system set up. It also has a wireless charger down at the bottom of that stack, and it's kind of vented, but for mine, it made my phone hot, and it would actually shut down for some reason. Kind of weird on the way that worked. Got paddle shifters, 12-speaker B&O audio system, and it handles the Ford Sync 4 is what is the infotainment system. And I thought it was a little slow reacting, so I could literally crank the car up, back out, and be headed down the road before it cycles up and brings up all the things that I want to mess with on it that I'm supposed to set.
I want to go back to the B&O sound system. Isn't it the B&O Railroad?
Yeah.
Used to be a B&O Railroad.
Yeah, but you got
Not
to
that.
pass go.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Up under the hood, 5.0-liter V8. Now, this is the engine they've had in it for several years, different variations. This one has 480 horsepower.
Dang.
At 7,150 RPM. Now, it also has 486 pound-feet of torque at 7,200 RPM. So you got to wind it up, and when you get up, it's all up there in that upper power band. We had the 10-speed automatic behind it. Now, the EPA says you should be looking for about 16 miles to the gallon city, 24 on the highway, and 19 combined. I drove this vehicle 446.5 miles, and I averaged 18.6 miles per gallon in it, and I was quite happy with that, considering
Considering you're a lead foot.
well, it becomes very obvious with the lightweight and high horsepower why you see so many of these out on the road driven by younger people. It's easy to get into it. It really is. So the styling.
The throttle is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I say I like the styling on it. It does create some vision issues, a few little blind spots whenever you get to the pillars, particularly on the fastback model. And you can, if you're low riding in it, if you're being cool and low riding, it's definitely there. Got a typically firm ride for a sports car, but you can turn up the audio and the exhaust and drown out all that business. Base trim price on this vehicle is $47,390, which is another reason you see so many of them.
47,000, okay.
Yep. The base model price is $31,920. And I want to point out that is a 2.3-liter EcoBoost engine with 315 horsepower. So this is not a stripper model with no juice to it. Our MSRP is tested $61,580. Had a few options on it. Looking for something to compare it to. I mean, obviously the Dodge Challenger that they don't make anymore, but I found a 2023. They started around 30. 24 Chevrolet Camaro starts at $32,495, and the 24 Nissan Z started at $42,970. So there's some more two-door coupe, small 4-passenger vehicles that you can compare it to, but it's definitely the Mustang. If you're looking for a Mustang, it's one you're looking for.
Thank you, sir. Time now for the Cruise In and events calendars. Jeffrey has that.
You betcha. So next week, the 24th, you got Saturday at the Ranch. This is in College Station, Texas, 4115 Texas 6 Frontage Road from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now, this is actually for two-wheelers and four-wheelers. It's going to be at the Ranch Harley-Davidson. The Ranch RV in College Station is for cars and motorcycles, trucks, everything with a wheel. So they've got, they're hosting some exciting things. They've got beverages, both adults
Wheelbarrow
and non-adult.
races?
No, but they've got the Glitz Dolls are coming. The Glitz Dolls will be there. I have no idea what that means. DJ Nick
Don's
Catalina's
smiling
Beats.
like he knows.
Yep. And Macondo Grill Food Truck's going to be there. So very,
Barbies.
very, very exciting. Again, on the 24th, you got Montgomery Cruise, weekly cruise into Montgomery, 943 Eva Street in Montgomery. So that goes from 6 to 9. It's behind McDonald's and O'Reilly's in the parking lot by the Brookshire Brothers. So if they're still open, go get yourself a suit. On the 25th, you got
A
rides.
soup?
A suit.
Oh, a suit.
New suit. A Brooks Brothers suit. Might get some shoes, too. Rides and Coffee on May 25th. That's Sunday, 9 a.m. to noon. It's in Katy, Texas. Got a lot of stuff going on there for Rides and Coffee. And then you got the Trucks and Tri-Fives meet. Very little information on this right now, but it's next Sunday, the 25th. It's at 501 South Austin in Georgetown, Texas, which is north of Austin, Texas. So that's going on. And, of course, we've got our Granbury event coming up on June 14th. 3-day event. We'll be there from whenever, from 9 to noon, 10 to 5, 6 to 4, whatever.
We'll be there.
We'll
Look
be
for us.
there.
We'll be stalking around in the park in the park there.
We'll be there.
Google affiliate Waymo said it's recalling more than 1,200 self-driving vehicles to update software and address risks of collisions in chains, gates, and other roadway barriers. After U.S. auto safety investigators opened a probe last year, the recall affects 1,212 Waymo vehicles operating on the company's older fifth-generation automated driving system software. Waymo has over 1,500 vehicles on the road across San Francisco, Los Angeles, Phoenix, and in Austin, Texas. NHTSA opened an investigation into the performance of Waymo's self-driving vehicles in May of last year after reports of its robo-taxis exhibiting driving behavior that potentially violated traffic safety laws. Whoops.
You know, we should have asked Sergeant Woodard if he's ever pulled over a
self-driving car.
Yeah.
The agency said several incidents under investigation involved collisions with clearly visible objects that a competent driver would be expected to avoid. Waymo, GM's Cruise come under increased regulatory scrutiny following a 2023 incident where a pedestrian was seriously injured by a Cruise vehicle. And Nissan Motor Company plans to cut 20,000 jobs globally as part of a ramped-up restructuring campaign under new CEO Ivan Espinosa. I wonder how much he's making. New plan calls for more than 10,000 personnel cuts, in addition to some 9,000 already planned as part of the embattled Japanese carmakers' revival plan. That's according to broadcaster NHK and Nikkei Business. The cuts will happen in Japan and overseas, they said. So, Nissan, serious issues they've had for several years since Carlos hijacked the company, went to jail, busted out, took a plane to wherever it was, Libya or somewhere.
Yeah, something like that.
In a box. In a box to get out of the country. Now, there's a guy that made, what, $100 billion friggin' dollars.
Well, it was a nice box.
It was a nice box.
It was a nice box.
That's it.
$100 million box. Could have been. If you got out, it would have been.
Yeah, these CEOs make way too much money. And once they get all their money, and he didn't. But he robbed the bank once he got back to Libya, wherever it was he went to.
Well, I think he still had a couple of houses. And,
Yes.
it's not like he was, like you said, he was
He
a
was-
nice box.
It wasn't liquid.
There you go.
Liquidity in his
Hey, we'd love to hear from you.
investments.
Shoot us an email. The address here is info@nwheeltime.com. We will be back after these quick messages.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The NWell Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the NWell Time Car Talk Show.
You've got the award-winning NWell Time Car Talk Show just ahead. We bend the minds of our hostess and hostesses.
What? Start over. Read that over.
No, I like it. And online followers in the Guess the Sold Car Price Roundup, along with this week's recalls. Also, I'll give you my thoughts on driving the 2025 Ford Ranger. Jeff has the Motor Minute in this segment of the NWell Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars, we always need more Jeff Zekin, Chief Engineer David Ainsley. He's awake, but he's not doing anything. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. So, should we do recalls first, or what do you want to do first?
It's your call. It's your recall. You got recalls, and then you got the price guessing game.
Yeah, so let's do the recalls.
Okay.
First out of the box, Ford, as usual. It's unfortunate. They could save a lot of money. Wouldn't have to raise prices so much if they build decent cars that weren't recalled.
They got a fuel leak this week or something, don't they? You know what they should do? Don Armstrong wants to buy a car. Okay, Don Armstrong, you come to the factory and you build it. Build your own car. That way, if there's anything wrong with it, it's on you.
Do you know how long
No, you got people to guide you. Okay, this bolt goes in there.
No.
Put that bolt on.
That's not going to
Do you
happen.
know it would still take so long for Don Armstrong to do that? He might be finished with his first Chariot by now, much less
Chariot.
starting on the next Ford.
Do you put the wooden wagon wheels on, or you just,
We want the optional ones.
with the iron tread on it.
Iron treads.
That's how tires started, because the iron would not wear the wood down.
Well, Ford is very well aware of the fact that they get a lot of recalls. Some of them because of build quality, most of them because of failure of their suppliers. And I asked them if, do you think that you could put a little bit more effort in building more quality parts and pieces that you assemble at your factory? Because, as I've said many, many times, car companies, Ford, GM, Chrysler, they don't actually make the parts.
No.
It's all farmed out. What these car companies are assemblers, is what they are, mainly.
If you're driving down the road and you're behind a vehicle in traffic and you see the shape of the vehicle, license plate, tail lights, all that, but sometimes you see parts on this vehicle that resemble the parts on that vehicle.
Yes.
So is it a crossover from the vendor? I mean, I'm going to make an ABC taillight. Now, does that ABC taillight fit Audi? Does it fit Ford? Does it fit Jag? So I think a lot of that stuff is intermixed as well.
Some of it is, but I will. Well, for instance, the rear view camera issue that goes across, I think, every make and model of car. I don't know whether it's a software issue or it's the actual camera or the display, but all the time we're getting recalls because of failure of the camera image on the screen. And the rear view camera is now mandatory on all cars.
Right. And some of them, the image is better than others, so it's hard to tell, and they don't really go into that detail.
Well, this image doesn't even exist.
Right, but I mean, they don't. Is it the physical camera itself, which isn't much? I mean, it's not.
No,
there's not much to it. Or is it connections to the computer? I mean,
it's the
there's
diodes.
so many places it could be a failure.
Electronics within.
What is a diode?
A diode is something that you should already know about. That's what it is.
Is it any relationship to Odie Coloni?
No, none at all.
Ford recalling 273,789 SUVs because of the risk of lost brake function. Now
That's the one I was thinking of.
that could be a problem.
Yeah.
Recall covers 22 to 24 Ford Expedition and Lincoln Navigator. Only 1% of the vehicles are expected to be affected. The recall comes less than a month after the automaker recalled more than 123,000 2017 and 2018 Lincoln Navigators, Ford Expeditions, and F-150s for a similar issue. Because chances are that brake issue, it goes across all of that. So from 17 to 24, they've been building the same part.
Yep.
Other recalls. I think pretty much every Volvo automobile known to man, and guess what it is? Rear view camera image may not display. All the Volvos 22 to 25 go on the recall list at NHTSA. Type in your VIN number, and it'll tell you if yours is on that list.
Yep. I saw a Peugeot pickup truck. I've never seen one. I didn't know when they made them. It said Peugeot. It was some kind of whatever option. It was some kind of track vehicle. It looked like a Ranger size, but it was Peugeot.
I had no clue.
Yeah, I'm going to look into it.
Here's something that'll give you a reason not to sleep at night. Electric oil pump may
what I
overheat.
need.
Electric oil pump may overheat and cause a fire on the Hyundai Palisade for 2025. Hey, what you got? You bought a new car. I did. I bought a 2025 Hyundai Palisade. Poof! In the driveway, the oil pump catches fire, and that's the end of that.
Isn't the oil pump still down in the oil pan?
That's the real question. I don't know where the oil pump is.
It's not a dry sump.
I don't know. With new cars, you don't know where some of this stuff that they've moved it to or what powers it.
Ooh.
Is it the engine or is it an electric motor?
A little electric pump.
On the exterior.
All it says here is
Yeah.
electric oil pump may overheat.
Electric oil pump. Yeah.
Good catch.
Got excited there.
Loose cylinder head screws may allow oil to leak. You think? Audi Q5 and the Q5 Sportback 22 to 24 model years. Okay, those are the recalls.
See, if you got an electric oil...
Don, you're such a complainer. You complain about everything all the time. Not complaining, just telling you the facts.
Nothing but the facts, ma'am.
If you got an electric oil pump, you got to have a way for that pump to be tied into the oil pan. Either it's
Probably.
mounted on the oil pan or you got a line to the oil pan.
I was going to say a pump, yes. If it was just
said
an
it was
activated,
electric. It
just an
said-
activated, like a servo or something, that would be, yeah. Huh, I don't know.
A dry sump oil pump.
I don't think it has it. I don't think.
It wouldn't be electric.
Why not? Could be.
Well, if you spark something down there,
Dry pump.
you get it sparked down low. You never can tell.
You
what
haven't had one of those in decades.
years. I'm telling you.
All right, Sold Cars Roundup
Hold
from
on.
Hemmings.
You got a cigarette there?
Yeah. I got some Newports.
There you go.
Newport cigarettes. Remember those? All right. Let's go over here to Hemmings and look at Sold Cars Roundup. It's a little guessing game with boys, including Jeff Heitzman, and sometimes
George.
George Skelton will chime in. And if you'd like to chime in, be our guest.
If Doug Schaefer's listening, chime in.
Yeah, exactly. Our email address is info@inwheeltime.com. Is that where they check in through, Mars?
Yes.
Okay. So, first up is a 1966 Ford Mustang convertible.
Wow.
Now, that's got stock wheels. It looks stock.
Is that British Racing Green?
Well, that's what I would call it. Looks like it's got a 289 V8 in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a gussied up one.
Sure.
It looks like the car top boot needs to be replaced on it.
It's okay.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the way they came.
No, they
Kind of
didn't.
crappy.
No, well, there's that.
But it's got the little trunk luggage holder on the trunk.
You
it
know
looks
what?
like.
I think it's been recalled.
Yeah. All right. So how much did that sell for a couple of weeks ago?
I'm going to go. Dang. 12.
12.
Yeah.
Mars?
No, I'm going to go. Heitzman took my number at 22, so I'm going to go 20. George says 16.
Mars? I can't believe it, but you won that one.
Hey!
What do you got? 22.
Sold price at $20,790.
I was gonna say that.
Of course you were.
All right, we can quit now.
Next up is the 1966 Chevrolet
Oh,
Chevelle.
Look at that. What do we got badged on
That would be a
Ooh.
396 if I'm not mistaken.
No, that's a clone.
Hubba.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
you decide, but it does have a Stinger hood that is not factory.
Absolutely.
That'd be the first thing that I'd change. And those SS Kragers, that's old school, need to move up.
Yeah.
So 66 Chevy Chevelle, how much did that car sell for? Looks like it's a black on black. It looks pretty good.
17.
17.
Heitzman says 25, but I'm going to, even with it being a clone, I'm going to go 28.
34.9.
I got close.
So that tells me that it might not be a clone. It might not be a numbers matching vehicle, but it's not a clone.
Either that or it's in really pristine shape.
Well, it's that, but with that hood and stuff,
That hood, that Stinger
know.
hood
It's gotta
does not
go.
work for me.
And right, the wheels got to go too.
Maybe
2014 Chevy Corvette is our next up. 2014. So this is a C6.
Yeah.
Or 7.
It's either or.
All
I'll
right.
call it a 7.
Whatever. 2014 Chevy Corvette. Looks clean, looks stock. Stock wheels, nice chrome wheels.
34.
Red.
34.
Jeff says 34. Mr. Mars, what do you think?
I'd give you about 10 for it. I don't like the headlights and stuff on it.
10?
Heitzman says 31, and I probably would say if 38.
What did you say, Jeff?
34.
33.6. Jeff wins.
George says 35. He came in a little late, but he got it in before
Okay.
you said.
So
what
y'all
it was.
were kind of in the ballpark. All right.
We're
Next
going to
up,
sell it to Mike for 60.
I now have a couple of Pontiacs.
Oh, let me get to the next one.
2 Pontiacs coming up. The first one here is the 1968 Pontiac Firebird.
Pre-chicken.
Now, this is a convertible. And if I were a guessing man, I would say this is probably an all original.
Look up on the hood.
Now, you may not agree with me, or I don't know, but you'll
say
find
400?
out.
400.
Yeah.
A 68 Pontiac Firebird.
34.
34.
Yes.
Mars?
I would say 24. Heitzman says 28.
So now, as I said, this looks like an all original.
original.
$54,600 is what it went for.
Yeah.
That's a lot of dough.
It's a lot of dough for that 60.
Got to be, maybe it's a 4-speed or something in there. I mean, it says it's a 400. I didn't even know they put a 400
Plus, it's a
in
drop
it.
top, so
That's why I say it's got to be an all original for $54,000. Yeah. All right. Next up, the next Pontiac, quite different from the 68. This is a 66. The stacked quad headlamps. This too is probably an all original. Now it might not have original paint, but it appears as though it's a stock 66 GTO. What do you think that that's sold for? Now is that a convertible?
yes,
It
Top
is.
up?
it's a soft top.
Okay.
I'm going to go 32.
Okay. 32. Mr. Mars?
I'm going to go 28.
God, you guys are.
Heitzman says 32.
68 250. I said to you, this looks like an all original
I'm only
stock.
buying half of it.
I understand what you're saying, but I mean, I'm seeing it's got hood pins on it, which is not factory. So somebody's jacked with it.
It's got a Texas
and
plate
I'm
on
not
it,
even
too.
sure it's a. I didn't even know they made a convertible back that day, or in a GTO model.
All right, moving on.
Well, George said 26, so
A 1986 Oldsmobile 442. Now, an 86 model means even though it's a 442, it doesn't have any horsepower.
well, that means it's got 4 wheels and it's got 4 tires and
Yeah.
it's got
That's
2 horsepower.
not what it means,
Two
but
exhausts.
okay, yeah.
Well, and the
It
mud
is a-
flaps, the mud flaps have got me.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think paying extra for that, and I'm going to pay right at
All right,
14,000.
let me just tell you this: that it is a clone.
14.
Oh, wow. For a clone?
Let's go 12. I'll go 12.
Jeff
That's-
Heitzman.
and that's high.
Are you serious?
What did Heitzman say?
34.
No.
Not for a clone, but what do you say, Morris?
Maybe he missed the clone part of it. I would actually say 18. Oh, George says 18, so I'll go 16.
I'm going 12.
19,688 for a clone. Okay.
It must be like immaculate.
Well, it
Well,
may be.
I'm sure it is, but it's got to be.
I don't believe that emblem up there under the left front headlight is stock. I don't think that the headlight. But
You think somebody at a dealership put that on there?
I don't know, but that just doesn't look like some sort of stock place to put that.
Same guy that put the mud flaps, the bolt-on mud flaps on, and put
Yeah.
that on.
Okay, we're getting down here to the nitty gritty.
Their factory.
Next up, the Jeep that nobody liked.
Oh, square headlight Jeep.
Yeah,
Yep, square headlight Jeep.
no reserve.
1989 Jeep Wrangler, yellow, two-door, obviously. In '89, they didn't build a four-door. So it's got the square headlights on it, and it's got some custom touches like that front bumper. I don't know what else it's got, but there you go. So
Maybe
what
a
do you
little
think that drew?
I'm going to give you 8 only because of the wheel chalk on the left front tire.
Oh God, I didn't even see that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, either that or he's a airline pilot or
Or
something.
it's on a slope.
Yeah. So
Oh, my gosh.
1989 Jeep Wrangler.
8.
Jeff says 8. Mars.
Heitzman says 21. George says 10, and I'm going to say 16.
$6,200.
Yeah. And if you look close, they've tagged these trees for cutting them down. Look at that.
Oh, true.
Trees are tagged.
Yeah, probably to make room for a bigger garage.
Yeah.
And
Put a real Jeep in it.
Something
Well,
other
that's
than
what they
that.
make the wooden wheel
Okay,
chocks
next
out of.
up. This is for Jeff.
All right, look at that.
This is a 1949 Dodge Wayfarer. I didn't even know that there was such a thing.
Yeah. There's a Wayfarer in an Eagle song.
Well, there's also isn't there a website that you can go to and buy things on?
It's called Wayfair.
Oh, Wayfair. Okay. 1949 Dodge Wayfarer.
He don't get out much.
Wayfarer.
How much? Convertible, looks
Lord.
completely stock. It looks beautiful if you're into
Really
that kind
does.
of, if you're into that
gorgeous.
body style.
$62,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Mars,
No, I'm thinking like 45.
45.
I got no input from the internet yet.
Okay. Well, we're just going to move on because I'm going to tell you it went for $22,155.
Gosh.
That seems like a bargain to me.
Yeah, it does.
And last up is Jeff's car of the week. A 1975 Buick LeSabre.
Yeah.
Look at the size of that
Baby
thing.
blue,
It
white interior.
It almost doesn't even fit into the picture frame. It's so big. It's a three-holer,
Yeah.
a Buick LeSabre three-holer.
Three-holer drop top.
Uh-huh.
That side marker light is as big as my headlight.
How much do you think that car weighs?
Oh, probably, I'm thinking
6,000
6,000 pounds. Yeah,
pounds.
that's a nice round
How
number.
much?
15-inch tires. It's got the depth. I'm going to go 14.
Next.
Michael?
George says 13,250. And I'm going to go 12, a flat 12.
All right, this, ladies and gentlemen, is a George Skelton car. I could see him driving through the halls of Temple, Texas, driving this at $8,650.
$8,000.
The problem is you're going to have to buy a new garage because this
Yeah.
won't fit in yours.
Yeah.
No, it definitely won't fit in mine. I don't even know if it fit on the driveway.
You get 3 gas stations to the mile.
Yeah. So that's our
There
fun
you
little
go.
weekly Hemmings Sold Cars Roundup. We'll try to repeat that again next week. Fun. All right. It's time to take a quick break, shall we?
Okay.
All right. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after these messages.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flameado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous loopy beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. The NWell Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the NWell Time Car Talk Show.
Hey, our last stop on the In-Wheel Time Spring Tour happens June 12th. Granbury, Texas is the location.
Spring break.
For the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run. That live broadcast will air at a special time, 9 to noon, and we hope that you will join us either in Granbury or on your favorite outlet that you're listening, watching us today. Mm-hmm. Time now for the Motor Minute. Jeffrey has
Motor
that.
Minute, we're going back to Indy. Last week we talked about some unique facts and things about Indianapolis Speedway. I've got some emails and some information from other people. Hey, what about this? What about that? Well, originally the surface was made of crushed stone and tar, giving it the nickname Brickyard. And there was like over 1 million bricks at one time that were laid in the track. While most tracks have been paved with asphalt, a 1-yard strip of the original bricks remain as the start-finish line known as the Yard of Bricks. We all knew that. The first Indianapolis 500 race, also known as the Indy 500, took place in 1911, has since become the most prestigious race in motorsports history. Memorial Day tradition, besides my birthday, the Indy 500 is traditionally held on Memorial Weekend, attracting enthusiasts from around the world. We did know that. Oval Track. Speedway's Oval Track is a 2.5-mile long track which features 4 distinct turns, short chute, and all that good stuff, which makes it very exciting. The largest seating capacity for any sporting event is 250,000 spectators. NASCAR is even getting involved because it hosts the Brickyard 400, and a race has been held at the Speedway since 1994. I think Jeff Gordon won that first one. World War I, I should say. During World War I, the track was temporarily closed, and the facility was used for military aviation and vehicle repair. Airmail days, the inaugural U.S. transcontinental airmail service took off from the Speedway in 1918. And there's called the Triple Crown, which is winning the 500, the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and the Formula One World Championship was all won by Graham Hill, which was an English race car driver and has not been achieved since. The Pagoda is an iconic control tower that overlooks the track and serves as the central hub for the race management. Grand Prix Figure 8 racing, which is exciting to me. In the early years, the track hosted the Grand Prix of Figure 8 racing, a unique, challenging form of motorsport. And the last one, a lot of calls on this one, the museum, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
You ever been there?
I've been there, not during a race, but then been there off-season. Speedway Museum showcases a wide array of racing memorabilia, historic race cars, making it a must-visit for racing enthusiasts. If you're in Indianapolis, go see it. I encourage you.
Yeah, because the winning car actually goes into the museum right after the race, after they clean it up a little bit.
And then we bid on it.
Then we bid on it, yeah. All right, time now for this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2024 Ford Ranger, mid-size pickup truck. Final assembly location, Wayne, Michigan.
Yeah, baby.
Available trim levels, XL, XLT, Lariat, and Raptor. Now, I will tell you that I drove 2 Rangers back to back. I just got out of the Raptor, which I'll review next week. This is not the Raptor, okay? So it falls under the XL, XLT, and Lariat trim levels. Then I had the Super Crew 4x4 Lariat, standard pickup truck, midsize as we call it. 5 seats in it. It was all new for 2024. Exterior features Ford-esque styling with attractive grille design. Body side sculpting on regular trims adds to the overall look. And I say regular trims because the Raptor is got different trim and different sculpting on the side. Didn't know that. Had to look. Faux vent on the front fenders, like that. Tailgate and rear lighting are modern and add to its attractiveness. Overall, this truck gets high marks for exterior design. What could use improvement? Nothing. Interior highlights. Again, high marks for interior design. Ford knows trucks, and they know how to build them, and they did a bang-up job on this one. This trim level comes with larger infotainment screen, looks and works great. Cubby above the glove box is really nice. It's a handy feature, especially for your passenger. Materials throughout the cabin are nice, and they're also of the heavy-duty variety. So it's not going to be the lush, plush velvet in Mom's Cadillac in that. What I liked, even the cloth seats are attractive and comfortable. What could use improvement? Some instrument gauges are a little bit too small for these old eyes to read clearly. For instance, the gas gauge.
Oh, boy.
It's tiny, and you've got to really pay attention and look at it.
You got to look for it.
You have to look for it. And once you get there, okay, where is the gas? Is it a quarter of a tank? I really can't tell. So that matters to you, then complain. 2.3-liter turbocharged four-cylinder that turns out 270 horsepower. You're going, oh, well, that's not much. Yeah, it's matched actually pretty well with this mid-sized truck. 310 pound-feet of torque, 10-speed automatic transmission, tow rating 7,500 pounds. That's a lot. Haul rating 1,800 pounds. Now, manufacturer miles per gallon, city 19. It's rated 23 on the highway for combined at 20. I averaged 21.1 miles per gallon over 406.9 miles. What I liked about it, plenty of pep and capability with this engine transmission combination. And the reason that they're able to get away with 270 horsepower is that 10-speed automatic transmission. And we talked to the guy at Stellantis last week that forget the drive ratio in the rear axle these days, they do it all in the transmission. And man, I'm telling you, that 10-speed automatic transmission, sweet.
Makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, it really does. Ride and handling is great, especially for an unloaded pickup truck, because really to be a true tester, you need to put about 1,000 pounds in the bed and or tow something with it to get the real gist of what that truck is made for. If you're just going to buy the truck because you like the way that it looks, great, you don't have to worry about it. It's still a good ride. But to do it the right way, you got to put a load on it, and I didn't do that. Shame on me.
Did you say it was a compact or midsize pickup?
It's a midsize.
Okay.
The compact is the Maverick. We're
Right.
going to get to that in just a second. Ride and handling, great in my opinion. What could use improvement? If you want more of this size truck, get the Raptor. You'll understand why when I tell you this. Base trim price, $55,620. Prices tested, $60,050. Base model price, $32,670. Shop this truck if you really are interested in that size truck. Now, competitors, the Chevy Colorado starts at $29,500. Now, the Ford, again, base is $32,670. Base on the Chevy Colorado, $29,500. Toyota Tacoma starts at $33,700, right in the ballpark with it. And the smaller Ford Maverick, and I threw this in there just so you get an idea. The smaller Ford Maverick starts at $23,920. That's $10,000 less on a starting price than the Ranger. Does it have the capability? No. It's a smaller, it's a different truck. But
Right.
I thought it would be interesting to know what's the difference. Well, I like the Maverick, but I like the Ranger, not quite sure. Don't really care about the size as much. Well, the Maverick is definitely smaller, but starts at $23,900.
Yeah, so you got the Maverick, the Ranger, the 150, and, the price
Yes.
steps up accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, I really did like it a lot. And, I go back to the original Ranger. You still see those stupid things on the road. They've got to have 1 million miles on them. And the guys that have those, they take care of them.
Yeah.
And
Nothing wrong with that.
it looks nothing wrong with that
You
at
can't
all.
replace them.
That's right. You can't. And I'm sure that there are plenty of replacement parts available for them as well. All right. If you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. We're back after this quick break.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey Radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us. From Studio A, inside the Sugar Shack Studios in Texas, USA, this is your place for all things automotive, the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, we talk to Serene Pease, Gulf Coast Auto Shield, getting your car ready for summer road trips. Later, Jeff has the racing calendar. Mars has This Week in Auto History, and I'll get you caught up on the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin, and our chief engineer, David Ainsley. I'm Bert Parks. There she is.
No, burnt parts?
Miss America.
Did he say burnt parts?
Yeah,
What parts
burnt
of his are
parts.
burnt
Burnt parts.
You get old,
burnt parts.
Old parts are burnt.
Old parts are burnt. Set them on fire. Smoking.
I actually was referring to Serene Pease, me being Bert Parks from the Miss America days. Remember her? Remember him? Oh, she is. Used to sing that song.
She's got the wave. She's got the prom queen wave going there.
She does. Serene, it's good to see
Yes.
you. You know, we've been
It is good to see you guys.
You didn't know this, but we've been watching you for the past 15
Yeah.
minutes. With
Moving cars around, I'm
Well,
sure.
Moving
yeah.
yes,
cars,
with that.
changing clothes,
Yeah.
doing the hair. you
Mike
know.
thought you were in the restroom at one point.
Make sure the hair looks okay. Got the hat on.
Yeah,
We're good.
it all looks great. Hey, it's great to see you, and thanks for joining us today. We
Hey,
understand
thanks
you're
for
going to go
having
see.
me on.
We understand that you're going to go see Grandma for her 90th birthday.
That I am, yes. Heading out to Colorado this evening to go see my grandma. Today is her 90th birthday, so we're having a big old get-together in Colorado.
How
tomorrow
fun.
at a park.
Yeah, how fun.
I hear your Katie is out there.
Yeah, she's not there today.
Okay.
See, right now she is in San Francisco. She spent a week at Vandenberg Air Force Base, and their home office is in San Francisco, so that's why she's there. She'll be there till Wednesday. And this is all through texts. I get this stuff. Oh yeah, Dad, I don't have time I don't have time to have you come and pick up the car. I don't have time for that. I'm going to Croatia. She gives me this long schedule of where she's going to be and where she. So I just find out yesterday, I think it was, that she's going to Croatia sometime in the next couple of months. What's
that's
there?
pretty
I
neat.
don't know what's there. It's not a vacation.
That's a little
country.
more than just a road trip, a summer road trip. but, you
Yeah,
know.
I'll say, to say the least. But speaking of summer road trips, I wanted to talk to you today about getting our regular, everyday driver cleaned up and ready for a family road trip. Let's say, for instance, that we're going to go see my Aunt Mary, who's deceased. Go see my Aunt Mary up in Wisconsin. Okay?
Okay.
And that's a 1,200-mile trip. We're going to be locked in the car together, probably for 2 days. It's a 1,200-mile trip. And we want to
Well,
have.
I'm going to say the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure to invest in an air freshener. If you're locked in a car together that long together, you might need a good air freshener.
And what do you suggest as far as an air freshener is concerned? I use those Febreze things, and they're pretty good.
I like the little trees.
You know, I love the Febreze things, the little vent clips.
Yeah.
I absolutely love those things. The little Glade ones, just the cheap little, whatever you can buy at Walmart or, wherever.
Mars is
I love
still
those
using
little things.
Mars is still using the cutout pine tree.
Yeah, hang it from the mirror.
They hang it from the mirror. He goes
I'll
back
tell
to
you
1950.
A detailer secret is if you need a quick air freshener, keep some dryer sheets in a Ziploc bag and stick them in your vents. If you need something, somebody, breaks wind in the car while everybody else is in there, shove them in the vents real quick. It makes everything smell like laundry.
Shove them in the person's vent or the vent of the car?
The vents of the car.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
that. Well, that's a great idea. I never even thought about that.
I keep dryer sheets in my
You know?
truck, but
yeah,
it's
and
to get the bugs
they stay
off.
pretty fresh for quite a while. So
Well, that's a great idea. And I'm going to try that. Next time I buy one of those expensive little Febreze vent things, I'll
Yeah.
try some dryer sheets. That's a great idea.
yeah, I put them down in the feet ones so you can't see them sticking out.
Gotcha.
You put them down in the little feet vents and
Yeah.
you just turn that on and it smells nice.
What kind of car do you have?
I have a Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah, does it have vents down there?
It does actually.
I'll be.
It does.
And you look like a Wrangler person.
Of course, I'm a Wrangler girl. I mean, come on. Who else has, they're bandanas. Look at them. They're pink bandanas.
She got her nails
Jeez.
done for her trip. I love it.
I did.
All right, so let's start on the outside of the car. And I know that washing has always been a big thing over there at Gulf Coast Auto Shield. We learned from John
Correct.
several years ago that you use 2 buckets and not one like I used to use. I don't ever
Correct.
do
you
that
always
anymore.
want to use a soap bucket and then a clean rinse bucket with a grit guard in the bottom.
Yes.
So that way you're not picking up the dirt and the bugs and the stinger off the bee that was stuck to your grill and wiping it all over your car.
Right. And it's funny because I actually bought one, a couple of years ago. I've got the blue one over there that's got a grit guard in it. And I think I bought it at Walmart or something. It was cheap and it was easy to get. It was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need some big fancy bucket system. A Home Depot bucket and a grit guard that you can pick up for a couple of bucks at Walmart.
What kind of mitt do you use?
What is it? It's a microfiber mitt is what it is. I don't like the ones that have the little fingers.
Okay.
You know which ones I'm talking
Yeah,
about. They've
I
got
do.
little fingery things on them. I don't like those ones. They tend to hold on to too much stuff.
Gotcha.
I like the microfiber ones.
But it's a mitt.
It is a mitt.
Not
yes.
a
But
glove,
I actually
but it's a
never
mitt.
put my hand inside of the mitt itself. Because to me, I don't get as much control. Let me see. I know we've got a stinking mitt somewhere. Of course, there's not one on the shelf when I go to look for it, right?
Of course.
Never would be.
I like
Never
the
would be.
Christmas tree that's in the window in the waiting room.
We keep that Christmas tree up year round, and it gets decorated by John's wife for every holiday.
That's good. So what is Memorial Day holiday? American flags?
Yes, so she puts up American flags, and then that stays up through,
July.
July
4th
4th.
of July. Thank
yeah.
you, yes.
Yeah.
So these are like the mitts that we use. Yes.
Oh, they're
You put
big.
your hand, you can.
I got you. All right.
Yeah,
So,
so they're big, they're fluffy, but I never do. I always just kind of grab a hold of it
yeah.
because I like to fill up the mitt part. I like to open it up and put my soap in there so that way it kind of sloshes everywhere.
Okay.
I like to have a little fun
And
with
speaking of that, what kind of soap do we use?
we use personally here, we use the McGuire's Gold.
That's what I use. Imagine that.
It's really good stuff. There's a lot of people that kind of poo-poo on, McGuire's because you can buy it so easily, but it is actually a great product.
And it doesn't take a whole lot of it.
No.
And it's really not that expensive. You can buy a half gallon at Walmart pretty cheap.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
And then, McGuire's also has a great spray wax. Spray waxes these days are the way to go instead of your old paste waxes.
Oh,
now,
God.
the McGuire's, it comes in a tin. I love that stuff, but it's just, if you're just trying to get out, get on the road, it's very time consuming.
Yeah.
Labor intensive.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've always hated about paste waxes. Oh my God, it gets stuck in all the crevices and turns white, and it's just a mess to get off the car. Okay.
It really is, and you can never even just wash it off the car either.
And one of the other things, and don't kill me. Of course, I don't do this on the Corvette, but if you got an everyday driver and you've got emblems on it and that sort of stuff, a soft bristle toothbrush is a good thing, and so are Q-tips.
Q-tips. You know what I actually suggest is go buy a cheap thing of makeup brushes, because makeup brushes are so soft for a woman's skin that it's really gentle in and around the emblems.
You have some of those, don't you?
Yeah, he's
Don?
got some.
I do. I do have some
Start
Mako.
recycling
I'm sure you got
those.
some of those stored underneath your
He's
sink
got
in
one
your
in-
bathroom, right, Don?
He's got one in his pocket right now.
Right now, yeah, it's right there, right in front of my makeup mirror.
Is that a soft brush you're?
Yeah.
Yeah,
doing there?
exactly. Well, there is that. All right, so I think we got the exterior taken care of, don't you think?
Most definitely.
Yeah. One of the things that's real easy to detail are the tail lights of a car. And it's funny because you pull up to a car that's been detailed and you look at the tail lights, and, most of them are pretty detailed.
Pretty intricate.
As far as design is concerned, and the dirt gets stuck in there and what have you. And if those are really clean, you got a clean car, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to the inside.
Okay.
So we
on the interior, one big thing that most people do not do when they go to clean their interiors is get down in no man's land. In between the center console and the seat. That's where all the French fries, all the popcorn, bottle caps, all the stuff tends to stick. Quick detailer secret is take your air chuck and just blow all that crap out before you decide to vacuum.
That's a wonderful idea. And you know what? They also make aerosol cans of air for your computer. And if you don't
Correct.
and if you don't have a nozzle hooked up to the compressor, you don't have all that. Just get you a can of that.
You're not
Well, I
at the
have.
compressor.
I have to say something. I've never eaten anything in my new car, and I will not allow any eating. I've got water. I've had a cup of coffee or two, but I won't eat fries or if you get something from McDonald's or whatever. I don't open that bag until I get home.
Hell, I eat lunch in
See,
mine.
Kathy does the same thing. She'll eat a whole thing of French fries before you get home, and that's how they get spilled. The popcorn, no way. No, I don't eat in my car, so I'll never have that issue.
But Jeff is weird that way,
Yeah.
so we'll just go with that.
Yeah.
How about you, Mars?
what it
I've
is.
seen the inside of your truck.
I'm telling you, I'm trying to figure out how I can get get the air compressor on one end under the seats and the vacuum cleaner and hose on the other end, kind of blow it all in there together.
I heard they found the Lindbergh baby in your car.
Now, I will say this, that I have a vacuum cleaner that I've had for decades with one of those slim nozzles.
Yeah.
And boy, I tell you what, I can get almost everything out with those slim nozzles. I use that slim nozzle for everything.
Oh, yes, yes. What I do a lot of times is with my shop vac, is I hold my shop vac here and I've got the air in the other hand and I just kind of blow it towards the shop
Yeah.
vac.
yeah, that's
So that way it sucks the majority of it up. When you've got a lot of dog hair, you've got kids, you've got, minivans always have goldfish and everything shoved into the cracks.
Yep.
And that air just gets rid of all
I
of it. That
remember-
really helps to get rid of
Yep.
any smells.
I remember vividly that car floor mats were to protect the carpet underneath the floor mat.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
then they all of a sudden decided, well, we're not going to make them rubber anymore. We're just going to make them carpet. So you got carpet on top of carpet. Now, what I do, they correct me if I'm doing it the wrong way, if it gets really bad and the mats get they smell like dirt, take the garden hose out, wash them all out, get the dirt out of them first. Then I take soap suds that I'm going to use for my laundry, put a little bit on there and brush it with a broom, get it all stirred up and sudsy and everything, and then rinse it again. Man, they're like brand new when you get done. Of course, you got to let them out in the sunshine.
Can I give you a quick tip for detailer secret to
Yeah,
work
please.
not as hard?
Yeah.
Go to the dollar store, buy a toilet brush. I know it sounds weird. Break off the end and stick it on your drill. It'll spin. And then you just and go down your mats. It'll brush out 90% of that crap before you ever wash it.
Listen to you.
Or just a good,
You know what?
good firm brush.
It just so happens I got some wall-to-wall carpet in the house. I'm thinking, well, there's a good idea. We'll just spend a good Saturday with the drill brush out there.
Toilet brush in your carpet.
Yeah.
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 There's that.
They make
Let-
these things called vacuum cleaners.
They do. I've
They
heard
do.
of those, Mike.
I have.
That
I
they do,
heard
yes,
of one once.
yes.
Yes.
So what do you do for stains? I ran across some stuff years ago when I was working at
I
Richardson
bet you did.
Chevrolet. And I got a can of it over there.
Stains
and
are important.
It really does the job when it comes to Coke stains, oil and grease stains, and it's a yellow and red can. While you guys think about that, I'm going to go get it and find out what the name of it is.
Oh boy, yellow and
Yeehaw.
red can. Here we go. TikTok. What could it be? Well, WD is
Yellow and red
blue and
can.
yellow.
Yeah.
Is it called Awesome?
Could be Raid. I don't know.
There ain't no telling with him. It's behind
It
the
could be
curtain.
Raid.
I was going to tell you, you were talking about the floor mats. I had a brother-in-law, former brother-in-law. He bought a Chevrolet truck with rubber mats in it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes and buys rubber mats
he can't find
to
it.
put over the rubber mat. Okay, that's cool. But
Okay.
then he would take towels and put on the rubber mats to put your feet on. The towels to keep
So he could wash the towels.
right. So you wash the towels easier than washing the rubber mat that was protecting the rubber mat from the factory.
Or they just
Oh
turn them
my
over.
gosh.
Just turn over the carpet, and have the rubber come up.
Well, if you fold it right, you can turn it over 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, you can. All right, what do we got?
Now, does anybody want to guess what it is?
I said I think it's called something awesome. Isn't
Thi-
it?
no.
No.
It's called
No.
Tough Stuff Multi-Purpose
Tufts.
Foam Cleaner.
Tough stuff. You know what? That is actually pretty good stuff for carpet.
Thank you.
It really is. It really is. Now, I don't suggest using that on leather.
No.
To be honest.
No.
Not at all.
It says here, it says carpet spots, seat stains, and vinyl surfaces, deep
boy.
cleaning. And if you follow the directions, I'm not even going to tell you how long it's been. You weren't even thought of back then, but I will tell you, we had it at Richardson Chevrolet, and if there was any problem with any of the carpet in the vehicle or
Yeah.
on the cloth seats, that's what we
yeah.
used, and it always
Don
worked.
uses it around the house all the time on
Yeah.
the cloth seats.
Yeah.
I'm sure on the couch and the dining room chairs because he makes a mess when he eats. I'm
Just-
sure of it.
Yeah, that's
I'm
it.
sure.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay. So, and back to the little space between the center console and the seat. Now they're making little things that go in there that you can put receipts in and what have
The
you.
little
Yeah,
inserts
storage,
where
little
everything
pockets.
falls to.
Yeah, exactly. You pull it out of there and then dump it out and start all over
And
again.
that really messes up my coin collecting hobby because that's where I get all my coins from. Is from in no man's land.
Customer card.
Does anybody use coins anymore? That's the real question.
Very rarely.
Yeah. So, tell me what your thoughts are about wiping stuff on the dashboard. And I think you know what kind of product I'm talking about.
Oh.
Please don't use Harmerall.
Armor
Please.
All
No.
is the
Armor
worst.
All.
So, I remember when that stuff came out. People put it on everything. It was
Well-
Literally.
horrible.
So because it's so oily, what it does is it absorbs the heat. It does not let
And the
the
dirt.
heat go. So that's what's bubbling and cracking dashes. It's terrible stuff. To be honest, what we use is the Grios leather conditioner
On the
Like-
dashboard.
on the dashboards. Yes, it's great for the vinyl and for leathers. Yes.
Very good.
So that's what I suggest is definitely using a leather conditioner, not the Harmerall.
Okay.
No
it's
oil-based.
like back whenever
Water-based conditioners only.
your girlfriend could sit next to you, used to, in the early days. If you put too much armor on that seat, you go around a curve and she's gone. I mean, she's bouncing
She
off the other.
slides.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Okay, finally,
Never had that
what do
problem.
you use on tires?
Tires. Oh gosh. So I do not like to use a petroleum-based tire shine. Right now, what we have, it's a product used by Nanoskin. It's a tire shine, but it's a water-based tire shine, so it's a no-sling tire shine. Because I like them just to look clean and pretty.
Yes.
I don't like them to be oily and slick looking.
Yeah,
And this stuff is absolutely
I'm
amazing. Love it.
I'm right with you. I found at Walmart again. I love Walmart's automotive department. Jay Leno's tire
Stuff.
treatment, and it's not shiny. And you put it on your rag, and you wipe it off, and it looks like it's right out of the showroom floor at
And those are the
Discount
ones
Tire.
that I suggest is that you're putting onto a pad or putting onto a rag. You don't want to be spraying that crap because then you've got a freshly clean car and then you just sprayed stuff all over the
Yeah,
body.
exactly.
So that just makes more work for you.
Well,
Work
we hope
smarter,
that
not harder.
we hope that you have a wonderful time in Denver.
I surely will.
Are you going to be there? Let's see, going tonight. I guess the big brouhaha is tomorrow. And
Correct. And then back tomorrow evening.
Are you going to come back tomorrow night?
Yes, I have to be at work on Monday morning.
Are you
Oh.
taking Grandma to a dispensary?
No, that we do not. If Grandma wants to go, I'm sure she's got enough gumption to do it herself because I do come from her. So I'm just going to say is I'm Grandma light.
Gotcha.
When it comes to my personality.
I got you. Serene Pease, we love you, doll. Thank you so much for taking
Love
the
you
time with us
guys.
today. Take the time with us today, and we will talk to you soon.
Hey, anytime. You just let me know, and I'm glad to be on here with y'all.
Thanks
Serene.
again, hon. Bye-bye.
Thank
you guys.
you.
Okay, let's see, just ahead. Jeff has the racing calendar. Mars has This Week in Auto History, and I'll bring you this week's automotive news headlines, all coming up on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
Welcome back to In-Wheel Time. Looking forward to seeing you at the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run in Granbury.
Yeah.
It's June the 12th. If you can't be there in person, join us for our live broadcast 9 to noon that day. Bunch of great guys, absolutely stunningly beautiful cars. It is a car club beyond car clubs.
Very cool.
And it's actually lots of car clubs that join the Lone Star Street Rod Association. So you've got cars from all over the state, and this is called the State Run. It's old school. This is their 50th anniversary.
And
I was going to say, it's a beautiful park, too. It's
yeah.
not just a parking lot. You park under trees. There's activities for the kids.
Yeah, beautiful
Plenty
park.
of restrooms and things there.
Yeah.
Food trucks.
And they've opened it up this year. They're going to open it up to 94, I believe. So it's kind of like your car's got to be 30 years old.
It keeps getting closer and closer to the Corvette.
Yeah. Give it another, 7 years, and you'll be in.
Yeah, I'll be dead by then.
You'll
but
be in, brother.
Whatever. Yeah. All right, time now for the racing calendar here on In-Wheel Time, sponsored by the Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge.
Thank you for that. NHRAs this weekend, the Gerber Collision and Glass Route 66 NHRA Nationals from Route 66 Raceway.
Chicago.
Craftsman Trucks are on this afternoon from North Wilkesboro. The Xfinity Boys are off this weekend, but NASCAR's at North Wilkesboro again tomorrow. And then, of course, you've got Indianapolis 500s coming up next week. It's going to be a big event. So that's all good. IMSA Racing, the Detroit Grand Prix is going on actually May 31st, so it's another week. I apologize for that.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, Detroit Grand Prix is May 31st.
The IndyCar?
IndyCar is the 25th.
So the week after
week
they
after,
do
yes,
Detroit.
it's-
That traditionally used to be the Milwaukee Mile.
Oh, did not know that.
That was my first experience ever as a child going to an automobile race.
We need to bring that back to Houston, the street racing, because that's what
Did-
it is.
who-
Actually, Belle Isle is where
Who
they run
won
it.
that first race, Spartacus or?
And then we got Formula One.
Looking for my gun
on the
right
25th, Monaco Grand Prix in Monaco, Monte Carlo. So there you go. A lot of racing going on, plus your local tracks, all the dirt stuff, 8th Mile drag racing and all that good stuff. So
Yeah, Rodney's going to be with us next week. We're going to talk
Yep.
about that and the upcoming races for Memorial Weekend. There's a lot of big races
lots of
that
stuff.
weekend.
Lots of stuff.
I've got a hankering. I got a hankering to go see me a World of Outlaws race.
Uh-oh.
And I may just have to make that trek. I think that the closest place that they come to here is Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I have to look.
Tulsa's the big. Is it Tulsa where they got
Tulsa's
the
a big one.
The big
yeah.
one.
The Chili Bowl.
And then
Chili
the
Bowl.
Chili
Yeah,
Bowl.
we got a couple of
that's
guys down in my area go up there and race.
yeah, that's in January, I think.
Didn't Tony Stewart used to own that track? Or did he sell it, or did he still own it?
I don't know. Chili Bowl.
Well, I think he still owns that
Does he?
track. I don't know that he runs in the Chili Bowl.
I don't know.
Is that where they ran over that driver? Was that the Chili Bowl? Some
Might have been
World of Outlaw.
Yeah,
thing.
somebody got run over up there.
every day.
Yeah. All right, let's do some headlines, shall we? U.S. and China said they'll temporarily lower tariffs on each other's products in a dramatic ratcheting down of trade tensions that buys the world's two largest economies 3 months to work toward a broader agreement. The combined 145% U.S. levies on most Chinese imports will be reduced to 30%, including the rate tied to fentanyl by May 14th, while 125% Chinese duties on U.S. goods will drop to 10%, according to a joint statement from officials in a briefing on Monday in Geneva. I had several tariff stories that I was going to do, and because it changes so often, it's kind of a waste of time. I can't. If I told you a story today, it was a story that happened last week, and since last week, they haven't written another story about that particular aspect of the tariffs. And I'm thinking, this is a waste of time. I had like 4 or 5 stories. And I thought, no, I'm just not going to do it. I'll explain to you why I'm not doing that. So there you have it.
Yeah, we've talked to several people about coming on and talking about tariffs, but that's the same thing they say. It happens so fast that it's hard to do.
And my gut tells me that all of this is going to work out for us in the long run. It's going to take a little time. It's very complicated, and I went over that not only in an interview that we had, but also in a story that I read to everybody last week or week before about the complexity of finding the American content in a car. It doesn't make any difference where it's built. Canada, Mexico, the United States, it has different components made in different parts. And some of those parts go across the border, back to the United States, back across the border. So when it starts doing all of that stuff, where do you draw the line? How do you say, well, that taxed at this amount, this taxed at that amount?
You don't want to hit it 3 or 4 times.
Right. There's just a lot of confusion going on, and this is going to get worked out. I know it will eventually, but right now it's just a big mess. Consumers are unimpressed with many driver assistant features. Duh. And uncertain if more advanced systems will be useful. That's the assessment of a new J.D. Power white paper, which calls into question whether the efforts automakers are expending on driver assistance upgrades are worthwhile. Driver assistance having an identity crisis. I had one that dawned on me last week about, lane keeping assist. Total waste of time. Because you can't have your hands off the wheel for any more than 5 minutes. What's the purpose of having it? It's not a driving assist thing. It's not a cruise control. It's not something that's going to drive the car. And it keeps fighting me on where I want the car placed in the lane that I'm in. Now, you can turn it off. I don't want to turn it off. It doesn't need, if I want it, I'll turn it on. Take it out.
You know what else they're taking out?
It ties into other things. If you turn it off, you turn off a bunch of stuff.
And to finish this up, the dreaded auto start stop feature,
I was about to say that, yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
I was just about to say that.
Everyone hates it. No longer going to be required by federal regulation. Got the story this week. Thank you, God. What a horrible thing. Here's the deal. It may save you, an ounce of gas. But what about all of those people that are behind you waiting to get across the intersection, waiting for the car to start, for you to hit the accelerator pedal and get through the intersection?
And the price of starters.
Well, some of them, it'll kick up and go immediately. Some of them, you're liable to hang you out there to dry.
We'll be right back.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Well, that's all for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Be sure and check us out online at InWheelTime.com. We're always looking for new, informative, and fun automotive things to talk about. If you have an idea or an event or a road trip destination, let us know. Our email address is info@InWheelTime.com. When you're looking for award-winning car talk, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the In Wheel Time app. What are these two clowns doing over here?
Synchronized setting.
It was synchronized sitting, yeah.
When you're on the road, grab a podcast anytime from your favorite podcast provider, including the new Sirius XM podcast channel. And be sure and catch us on the Odyssey radio app, too. We video stream our live show every Saturday, 10 to noon, on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In Wheel Time video technical director is we always need more Jeff Deacon. For booking agent, video editor, and people finder, Mr. Do-All, Mike Out of This World Mars, and chief engineer David Ainsley, I'm Don Armstrong. Be safe out there. Have a great week. Thanks again for following the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We'll see you next week.